Hello guys, so I welcome you back on Jack Down Farms, your favorite channel where you get to learn everything catfish farming. So today on our channel, I want to stress a bit on the importance of salt in fish farming. Salt is one of the essential farm necessities that every farmer or every fish farmer has to have on farm. Salt is involved in so many activities. It is used in so many activities on farm, which stress from the treatment of infections, and then also feed production, and also used in grass systems for nitrite toxicity reduction and so forth. So today I will stress a bit on the importance and where salt is needed on farms. Just as I said earlier, on every farm you have to make sure that you have certain amounts of salt on your farm. What salt does is that we use salt to treat the infection of protozoas on the skin and then the gills of our catfishes. It's not everything that you need to go chemical. No, you sometimes need to use raw materials that you can get on the low cost to treat infections, and then trust me, these things turns out to be more effective than probably the expensive treatments we always go out for. So without much ado, just as I said, let me explain to you how salt can be used to treat these infections. You either give your catfish, your fishes, you either give them a salt bath or a salt dip. The difference between salt bath and salt dip is that with a salt bath, it is done on a larger scale. Let's say if I have a pond like this pond contains about 800 catfish. I cannot go about doing salt dip. What I need to do is to afford salt bath in this pond to avoid or to treat parasitic infections as well in the pond. So what I will do is that I first drain the water in the pond, fill it to somewhere, a minimum amount, just somewhere above the head of the fish, somewhere above the fishes in the pond. So if you can see from the video, this is the level of water that I normally use for my salt bath, and then you add 20 grams of salt to every liter of water that is in the pond. So in case you have 1 liter, you have 10 liters of water in your pond, then you use 200 grams of salt in it for a short while. You just allow the fishes, you dissolve it in water of course first, and then pour the solution, spread the solution across the edges of your pond, allow the fishes to swim inside the salt solution that you have mixed for about 20 to 30 minutes, flush the water out, and then refill it. In cases where infections, let's say parasitic infections, are a bit severe, you can do this in an interval of, let's say, every day. Today you do it, you just need to try to afford it for about 3 to 4 times. In order not to stress them, I always go for 1 day interval salt bath. If I treat my fishes today with salt bath, the next day I allow them to rest and then continue the treatment the next day. Just as I said, 20 grams of salt, 20 to 30 grams of salt to every liter of water. Allow them to swim inside the solution for about 30 minutes. You flush the water, fill it with fresh water again. That is how salt bath is done. I will demonstrate that as the video is commencing. And then with the salt dip, that is where you confine the fishes in a solution, in a container, let's say a bowl, a hollow bowl where probably water can just drain out of it. Typically, salt dip is mostly done with hatcheries to try to disinfect fishes before they are being transported, or with their routine water change, they afford salt dip. So this is how salt dip is done. You put the fishes in a container, you try to make your salt solution, just as I said, 20 grams to every liter of water within a container, and then you dip your fishes inside the solution. About 2 or 3 dips is fine, and then you transfer them to wherever you want to take them, either to a pond or to your location where you want to transport them to. So that is the uses of salt in fish farming, how it is used to disinfect fishes and then to treat infections. So let's go to other aspects of fish farming as well, where salt is being used. Other aspects like feed production, salt is being used, is being introduced into feed when feed is being produced to abate or to eliminate the activity of bacterials in the feed. So whenever the feed is being administered to the fishes, you know that probably your feed is free of any bacterials. And then also when salt is being administered or being used in feed production, whenever your fish consumes the feed, it helps to treat the infections in their gills within their system. Yes, that is how salt is used in feed production. And then in RAS system, of course, apart from the treatment of infections in RAS system, you can also use salt to reduce the level or the consistency of nitrites in your pond. If you have high nitrites in your pond, you can use salt to reduce the level drastically. So these are some of the uses of salt. I will then demonstrate to you how you can go about affording salt bath, salt on your farm. Thank you for watching this video. Please stay tuned as I do the practical demonstration. So guys, as you can see, I have my salt right here. So all I need to do is to dissolve this salt before I administer the salt in the pond. So let me first try and then dissolve it with some water. So just as I said, you need to be mindful of the amount of salt. Let me hang this right here. You need to be mindful of the amount of salt you use. Earlier explained that 20 grams of salt, 20 to 30 grams of salt to a liter of water. So I need to first dissolve this, make sure that I'm using this industrial salt, the local salt as you say. So I need to dissolve it in the water, make sure it is well dissolved before I broadcast it. You can as well use raw salt, the powdered form. If you have the powdered form of salt, you can also use that. With that, you don't really need to dissolve it in water. You can just broadcast it across the pond and it will dissolve by itself. But I am using the stone type of salt, so I want to dissolve it in the water well before I transfer it into the pond. So after dissolving your salt in the solution, you need to make sure that you spread the solution across all angles of the pond. So this is how you go about doing it. You make sure that the solution is well spread, and then you allow the fishes to swim inside the solution for about 20 to 30 minutes. You flush the water out and refill it with clean water. Just as I said, I entreat every farmer, if you are changing water, like your routine water change, you need to make sure that you afford salt bath to help disinfect your fishes and then to promote healthy living in your pond. So kindly do also like the video. If you are a new or probably a visiting viewer, kindly do also like the video. If you are a regular viewer, do also share and then like the video. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.